Planet Vero Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Treasure Coast Connector, connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. Treasure Coast Connector is the talk show and online community where we spotlight interesting local businesses and resources, then connect them to you, the consumers in the community. Everyone has an interesting story of why they do what they do. When we learn about what's happening in our own backyard and support local businesses, it strengthens our local economy. For details on the show, links to promos, discounts, past interviews, visit my website, www.tcconnector.com. When was the last time you baked a cake from scratch? I don't know about you, but I can't remember. Joining me in the studio today is a local businesswoman whose passion is to bake luscious cakes in a wide variety of flavors and sizes, and they are to be enjoyed just because or for events, holidays, and so much more. Barbara Arege is the owner of Barbara's Cakes by the Pound, and this episode is going to make your mouth water. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Ellen, for having me here.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, did I get your last name, Arege,
yes, it's
correctly?
Arege. You got it correct. Thank you.
'Cause I butchered it before.
Yeah.
You know, the way I pronounced
Yes,
the G.
it's okay.
I did a soft G.
Yes.
So before we start talking about these beautiful cakes
Right.
that, and some you brought, which is wonderful, I have a microphone preventing me from grabbing
on it.
so that's a good thing. But what made you want to start Barbara's Cake by the Pound?
Well, yes. So the reason why I started Barbara's Cake by the Pound is because I really had a passion and a love for baking. So it was just kind of like, hey, might as well use my talent some kind of way, you know.
Yeah, use
so.
your talent for good. To
Use
make
it for
people
good.
happy.
Yes, right.
Very nice, because I can only imagine that, you know, you would bring cakes to places and your friends would be like, hey.
I know, yes, because you know, we go to family functions or birthday parties, and I'm the one who's always, you know, bringing the cakes or the desserts. So it was kind of like, okay, I think I can make this work, you know, and especially when you get requests to like, hey, can you make that cake that you brought, you know, so.
Yes.
I decided, why don't I just share this with the world?
Well, very good, because nobody has ever asked me to bring a cake ever. I'm just saying.
Right.
All right. So now I mentioned in the intro that you do indeed bake your cakes from scratch.
Yes.
And the brochure says that you specialize in Southern style. So what does that mean, Southern style?
Well, yes, I do bake my cakes from scratch. Southern style to me means like it's buttery, you know, it's moist, it has just the right sweetness in it. So yeah, I think that's what my cake provides.
Okay.
All
right. Well, very good. Now, the other thing is we're going to start talking about, because there's a lot in this brochure and we don't have a lot of time on the show, right?
Okay.
We're going to talk about the different flavors, but what are some of the most popular flavors that you get repeatedly asked for? Let's get the mouth watering started.
So my lemon pound cake is one of like the most popular one. I think with that, because I use fresh ingredients, so I have fresh lemons, the lemon zest in my cake and also in my frosting. So it's like refreshing when you're eating it. Then my classic vanilla is another good one. And then my almond amaretto cake. Oh, it's delicious. It's really, really good.
Yeah, we got a sigh from Cindy. Okay, she's nodding her head, the show producer.
Yes.
Very good. Actually, she could get up and get the cake.
Oh.
Yeah, she has
Reach
access
over,
to the cake. But, you know, and I do have to say that at Rachel Moshman's Favorite Things party,
Right.
that's when I first had your lemon cake. It was a lemon cake and then the strawberry cake.
Right.
Right. And I wanted one of each. But then I was so full. And so my friend actually was feeding me her cake, you know, because it was the strawberry. So I had the lemon and she had the strawberry. And we're feeding each other cake. It was a frenzy. It was just silly. But the lemon cake, I do have to say very quickly, you know how I get ideas and I must say them. And in the green room, we were talking about how local restaurants, I like to end, if I go to a beachside restaurant, I do want to end with dessert more often than not, and I want it to be homemade. Okay? Yeah. And we have a few Italian restaurants, and the lemon cake, that's like an Italian thing to me. Yeah. You know? So I'm going to point. Remember how I told you we could do this with the camera? So any restaurateurs in town you're looking for cakes, you're going to want to talk to Barbara. And I think local should support local. That's just my own. Okay, so now let's go over the cake flavors, okay? Because they fall into 3 classifications: your basic pound cake, fruit and nut, and liquor infused. So let's go over the flavors.
Okay, so my basic pound cakes, it comes in like chocolate and caramel and of course the vanilla, you know. So those are my basic. I have a 7-Up cake that is like a combine of the lemon and the key lime flavors, and then we add some 7-Up soda to the cake. So that's the 7-Up
part
cake.
2 of this question was, what is the 7-Up cake?
Yes, so it's a combine of the lemon and the lime together, and it's really, really good.
Okay. Now I have another question.
Yes.
Sock it to me.
Oh, yeah. So that's part of
okay, now we got a guffaw from Cindy.
So the Sock it to me cake is part of my my fruit and nut pound cake. So in that category, I do like the upside down pound cakes, pineapple pound cake, excuse me, a blueberry lemon pound cake, and then of course my Sock it to me pound cake.
Okay.
And that was one of my mom's favorite cakes. So this cake, you have brown sugar, cinnamon, and pecan in it. And this cake is delicious. I mean, you could eat this with your coffee in the morning.
That does sound like breakfast. Technically, it is so breakfast because there's flour and there's eggs.
The eggs in it, yes.
So technically, it's a breakfast food.
Yes.
And nuts are actually, they have a lot of antioxidants in them.
Right.
So nutritionally, you're doing really well by people. I mean, my husband, when I go back home, he watches the show. He's going to say, it's not breakfast.
Breakfast is anytime.
Be quiet. It is.
Yes, breakfast is anytime.
Yes, and Cindy agrees. And so that's the thing is, I was going to say something. Oh, the liquor infused, because I wanted to make sure we didn't forget that.
And then my liquor infused is just what it says. Like, you know, I make rum cakes, and I do an Irish Bailey pound cake that I'm actually specializing now for St. Patrick's Day. Yes. And then my almond amaretto, I think that's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
So it's delicious. You know, it's infused inside the cake, and I mix it with my frosting. So you're definitely getting your money's worth when you order that.
Yeah. Okay. So now, as we're going through, and Cindy's putting up the graphic, I went onto your Facebook, and there was a cake that was colorful, and it was red and blue, and it is for your 4th of July.
Yeah, so 4th of July,
Look at how pretty that is. Yes. Okay.
So usually around the holidays, I will incorporate, like Valentine's Day, I did a red velvet swirl cake, and like for 4th of July, I had my red, white, and blue. So I will try to incorporate some different types of flavor or fun to the cakes too.
So now what if somebody says, my grandmother, who passed away in 1972, used to make the blah blah cake. Like my grandmother actually used to make a cake, but her icing, she would make mocha icing, and it was chocolate and coffee, and she used instant coffee. I know, but I don't know how to make it, and she's long gone, Grandma, right? So when someone has a memory of something special and they lay that on you, what do you say? Do you say, no, sorry?
I'm like, bring it on. I got you. You know, I had customers reach out to me and, they wanted a banana pudding cake or an apple jelly cake. And it's like, yes, I could make that happen for you,
Okay.
So I definitely take customer orders, however they want their cakes to be.
Okay, well, that's wonderful. And that's what I was going to ask you next. Remember when I was like, oh, I forgot? So the icings, let's talk about how the cakes look, because people have options to how you finish them off.
Yes. So your option is you either could have a frosting on your cake or powdered sugar or no frosting whatsoever.
A naked cake.
Yes, a naked cake.
Yeah.
That's not fun. But, but you could have your choice of what types of frosting you would like.
But, a naked cake isn't necessarily a bad thing, because maybe someone has the way that they like to finish a cake.
Yes,
So that's okay too.
Yes.
All right. Or maybe they let their kids decorate, how for a kid's birthday, and they put their own icing on it,
and their
sprinkles.
Yes.
So that's a good idea for a naked cake. Okay, so now the sizes.
Right.
There's a wide variety of sizes. So let's talk about that.
Okay. So so my
And
sizes
shapes and sizes.
Okay. Well, my sizes come in my minis,
Yes,
which are
so cute.
individual servings. And then I have my small, which feeds about up to 5 people. Then I have my medium, which feeds about 10 people. And then my large, which will feed a crowd of 15. So those are my sizes. And my shapes of my pound cakes, I usually bake them in a bundt pan or an angel food pan. And once in a while, like Mother's Day, I do have a special like rose or flower pan. Yeah, that I will bake it in just to give it a little pizzazz.
Yeah, we have that in the picture too. I wanted to. Yeah. So okay, and I'm looking at the time because Cindy is going to make me take a commercial break. But before we do that, see, she's waving the sign at me. But before we do that, the people that are watching this have already seen your email. They have your phone number, but we have iHeartRadio and 8 podcasts, and they're leaning forward going, how, where? So tell everyone how they can connect with you.
Yes. So if you want to connect with me or order a cake from Barbara's Cake by the Pound, you could just give me a call at 203-231-1659. You can email me at barbarascakebythepound at yahoo.com. Or follow me on Facebook at Barbara's Cake by the Pound, LLC.
Very good. But the phone number one more time, because that was fast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
so
okay.
The phone number is 203-231-1659.
Very good. So with that, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back because Barbara and I have a lot more to discuss about Barbara's Cake by the Pound.
Revive Vero Beach, located next to Anytime Fitness on Oslo Road and 27th Avenue, has everything you need to look and feel your best, including hormone replacement therapy, stem cell therapy, sexual wellness, weight loss, laser aesthetics, hair, tattoo, and skin spot removal, Botox and fillers, cryotherapy, comprehensive blood work, and everybody's favorite ozone and IV therapy. Refresh, renew, and revitalize yourself at Revive today. Call 772-492-6607. A member of the iTex trading community. Your iTex dollars are welcome.
iTex, or International Trade Exchange, is the largest barter company in the world, with over 25,000 members offering goods and services. We're a marketing company that brings you new business in the way of trade, with over 200 local members enjoying the benefits of iTex, like lawyers, doctors, plumbers, media, printing, and more.
Hi, this is Liz Bowler. Contact me and find out why barter through iTex has been smarter for over 30 years. 772-532-1881. Visit itex.com.
Enjoy exciting live theater at Riverside. Don't miss A Comedy of Tenors, an uproarious tale of romantic indiscretions and madcap situations. It's the concert of the century, and 1930s Paris is buzzing. But when you have one hotel suite, 4 tenors, 2 wives, and 3 girlfriends, a lot can go wrong. Can the producer keep Italian superstar and his hot-blooded wife from causing operatic chaos? Don't miss A Comedy of Tenors, now through March 12th at Riverside Theater. Get tickets at riversidetheater.com.
EasyBrew.com.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I'm here with Barbara Arege of Barbara's Cake by the Pound. And we're going to just dive back into this conversation because we were talking all about these amazing cakes and the flavors and sizes. But there are people, okay, that have an intolerance to wheat, and they choose a gluten-free cake.
Right.
And I know all about it from firsthand experience, but tell us about your gluten-free.
Yes, I do get a lot of requests for a gluten-free cake. And, with the gluten-free, of course, obviously, you just no flour, you use gluten-free flour. But one thing that I love is that, the taste is still there. You're still going to get that same great taste if you order the gluten-free option.
Yes. So that was with Rachel Moshman.
Yes.
The cakes that were there, they were gluten-free. And if she didn't make that announcement, nobody would have known. And the thing is that they have this, your cakes are from scratch. So they have this dense richness to them, but yet they're light and they're moist. And they don't fall apart. That's what my friend Tammy McCormick was saying as she was eating them. I put the camera right to ask her just as she was eating. It was just not nice. I did not mean to do that, but it was really nice how she described that, and it is true. So I want people to understand that if you feel like, okay, I need to get a gluten-free option for a few people that I'm entertaining for, and you think you have to get another cake, trust me, you would never know. Truly would never know the difference. Okay, so now that we got that covered, you have a great brochure that has all the information.
Yes.
And I do hope that you're going to put that on Facebook. Take a picture of the front and back of that for Facebook, please, because that was incredibly helpful for me for my husband's party.
Okay.
So describe your ordering process.
Right. So if you want to order a cake from Barbara's Cake by the Pound, I usually request a 48-hour notice just to make sure the date is clear and to give me time to, like I said, because everything is homemade, to have the ingredients that you need for this cake. Then I ask for a 50% deposit just to hold the date for you. And then you could either come to my home to pick up your cake, or I do deliver to surrounding areas for a small fee. And I take cash, Zelle, or checks for payments, and that's pretty much it. Okay,
well, very good. I wanted to make sure that we got that taken care of. Yeah, it was very easy to order from you. And I live near like the mall in Vero Beach. And then you live a little bit south of town, but it took me 10 minutes to get to you. So it's really not that bad. So, and then now, you know what? Have you ever mailed a cake, or no, not yet?
I have mailed cake, but to families.
Okay.
I have mailed cakes up north to Connecticut and things like that. So yes.
Because that could be a little tricky, and that may come up. So if it just popped into my head, it's going to pop into others.
Other people's head about shipping and everything.
Yeah, because with live stream, so this is on live stream, it's on YouTube, it's on 8 different podcasts, and so this show can get really interesting reach from what I have experienced. Okay, so very good. Now, I talked about my favorite holiday just because, okay?
Right.
And my husband loves to just put a diamond bracelet on my wrist just because. No, he doesn't. But I figured if I said it out loud, maybe it'll happen. When I get home, he's going to say no. Okay. So the just because is when someone has a craving, they should just treat themselves and their family. to a wholesome cake, right? But then there's, dinner parties and holidays. So it doesn't matter.
Right.
When, I mean, cake is just always needed.
It's just needed, yeah. You remember when new people come into the neighborhood and you greet them with a cake, So you can have cake anytime.
Yes.
Anytime.
Very good. Hey, so perhaps, like the chambers of commerce and such, when people join the chamber, it's a brand new business.
Right.
They should bring a cake to them. Just saying.
I know.
Goodness.
Yes.
So too bad I formed my company like 4 years ago now, but all right. So I want to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, so now these also make for very good gifts.
Yes.
So if somebody, let's say, here's a good idea. Somebody is maybe in a nursing home or recovering in the hospital,
right.
And, buying a gift isn't all that practical, and flowers. I mean, a cake.
A cake, yes. I have had realtors reach out and, they give them to their clients as a thank you or for Christmas or, this is, the mini ones are perfect for like teacher appreciation or, just anybody who you just want to say, hey, I thank you or I appreciate you.
Yeah.
The cakes are perfect.
That is really lovely. And open houses to actually have a cake on the counter for when people come in. Because usually they'll do that. They'll have little snackies. So, okay, realtors, I'm going to point at the camera again and say,
let's provide them one of these little mini cakes before they leave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so again, I want to make sure in the second half that you say your phone number again and your email for the listeners.
Yes. So again, if you like to order or reach out to Barbara's Cake by the Pound, my telephone number is 203-231-1659, or you can reach out to me by email at barbarascakebythepound@yahoo.com, or follow me on Facebook at Barbara's Cake by the Pound LLC.
Okay. All right. Very good. And then, so we did the ordering process. Okay. So give me an example. Okay. Here's a good example. The weddings, because in the green room, Cindy Getz was here doing her show, and she's gorgeous and does like beautiful makeup and stuff for wedding parties. So we were talking about that, and she asked you, and the answer is yes, I do wedding cakes. But describe some of the cakes that you've done, or a multitude of cakes.
Right. So yes, I have done a wedding before with my Cakes by the Pound. Usually the bride will ask for like a large pound cake and then a medium pound cake to like stack them up and add flowers to it. And then we'll have the mini pound cakes around so that their guests could just choose whatever flavors they would like to have, So at least it's a variety of cakes for their guests. And I've done, provided for baby showers and just events like that.
And anniversaries and
birthdays and anything.
Retirement parties, bar, bat mitzvahs. I'm just saying. So very good. So now we're getting close to the end of the show. Goes by very fast. Yes. So what else would you like to say? See, we just got the 2-minute mark. I was ahead of her this time. So with the next 60 seconds, because I'll use the other 60 seconds to wrap up, what would you like to touch on that perhaps we didn't touch on, or to repeat something that you feel is important?
Yes. Well, to me, I feel that it's really important to emphasize that my cakes are homemade cakes. They're not from the box. I really take the time out to make sure that I am providing my customers with the best qualities of cakes. So, just give me a try.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think it's absolutely delightful. And so for my husband's birthday, his birthday was Wednesday of last week. His party was over the weekend, and he made a paella. He loves to, I told you about that. He loves to make paella. So then I decided I was actually thinking, and I even said to my husband, I'm going to make Duncan Hines cake. And he's like, okay.
Right.
And then I sat there and I'm like, I just got back from Rachel's party, called you up, and everybody loved it. It was amazing. So we did the red velvet, and then we did the vanilla because, we were having a lot of people over. So it was a medium and a large. It worked out perfect. So I want to say thank you so very much for being here. It is important to spotlight local businesses. It was a pleasure. And Tammy McCormick, you're getting a cake next month in April.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
We're going to talk about flavors. And maybe you can come back on again someday if there's, new things going on. Okay.
Well,
so
thank you for having me, Ellen.
yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
It was a delight. And my name is Ellen Contreras, host of Treasure Coast Connector. I hope everyone has a safe, wonderful, productive week. And until next week, I miss you already.